Welcome to Council Action. My name is Elizabeth Kautz. I'm the mayor of the city of Burnsville. Council Action is a summary of the council's meeting on Tuesday, November 18th, 2014. The meeting was called to order at 6:30 p.m. at 100 Civic Center Parkway in the council chambers. We begin our meetings with a moment of silence followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. We then move on to our announcements, and our announcements have to do with all of our upcoming meetings. Council meetings are scheduled for Tuesday, December 2nd at 6:30 p.m. and Tuesday, December 16th at 6:30 p.m. We have work sessions scheduled for Monday, November 25th at 6:30 p.m. and Tuesday, December 9th at 6:30 p.m. Also want to remind everyone that we continue with our budget discussions, and it is all part of our truth and taxation process. We have a budget work session scheduled for Tuesday, November 25th at 6:30 p.m. And we then adopt the budget and a final tax levy on Tuesday, December 2nd at 6:30 p.m. And I also want to remind everyone that there is a 2015 budget open house video that's available for viewing on the City of Burnsville's YouTube page. This video explains the city's budget process and provides contact information for the different department heads. Please utilize that. We also are recognizing one of our community builders who wasn't able to join us when we awarded the Community Builders Award, and this is Mr. Jim Schmidt. And I would ask that you please tune into the City Council meeting and hear about Mr. Schmidt and his contributions to our community and the difference that he has made. He has been a phenomenal community builder and a great Rotarian. So thank you, Mr. Schmidt. We then move on to citizens' comments, and we had Mr. Ed Del Moro and his grandson, Matthew Edwards, who came before us to talk about the holiday lighting, the winter lighting ceremony that's going to be held on Wednesday at Nicollet Commons Park on Thanksgiving Eve, as is our tradition, and that will be at 6 o'clock. And I would ask that you please tune into the City Council meeting and hear Mr. Del Moro and his grandson, Matthew Edwards, who is going to be the successor to Ed Del Moro in the raising of funds for the winter lighting for the city of Burnsville in the heart of the city. The next item is for emergency items only, and this is additions to the final agenda, and there were no emergency items. We then move on to the consent agenda. And the first item on the consent agenda, we approved all of the minutes from our past meetings. We also approved claims listing. And we approved the agreement with Malloy, Montague, Karnowski, Radosevich and Company for independent auditing services. We also approved the reallocation of unspent community development block grant funds. And we authorized a grant application for construction of a bicycle pedestrian trail from Kelleher Park to Sunset Park. And we approved the 2015 funding application to Dakota County for the community landfill abatement funds and the execution of a joint powers agreement with Dakota County for recycling activities. We approved a joint powers agreement with the cities of Apple Valley, Farmington, Hastings, Inver Grove Heights, Mendota Heights, Rosemount, South St. Paul, West St. Paul, and Dakota County for the Dakota County Electronic Crimes Task Force. One of the things that all of you who live in Burnsville need to know is that we enter into many of these partnerships to leverage our resources and make sure that we can deliver services in a more cost-efficient way. And this is one of the ways that we do this, and we do quite a few of these joint powers agreements between the cities in Dakota County. So it's a great way for us to share these kinds of resources and talent and intelligence to make sure that our community is safe. we approved the resolution for the premise permit for the Apple Valley Hockey Association for the purpose of lawful gambling pull tabs. And we approved the plans and specifications and ordered the advertisement for bids for the garage renovation project. We also approved and authorized the payment of emergency repairs of the water plant variable frequency drive. And that was the end of the consent agenda. We then move on to the regular agenda. And the first item on the regular agenda was a public hearing. And this was to approve Wine 32% on sale liquor license for Smashburger Acquisition Minneapolis, LLC, doing business as Smashburger, number 1450 at 14059 Aldridge Avenue. This is in the Burnsville Marketplace, across from Target on Aldridge. And the item was presented, and this was a public hearing. I opened the public hearing, and the managers for Smashburger presented and wanted us to know that Smashburger will be open on December 10th. So be aware that Smashburger is going to open at 10 o'clock on December 10th in Burnsville. And that item, there were no other people to speak before the City Council. I closed the public hearing, and the item was approved. Item number 6 was also a public hearing, and this was to approve on-sale Sunday on-sale liquor license for Clive's Roadhouse, Burnsville, LLC, doing business as Clive's Roadhouse, Burnsville, at 13050 Aldridge Avenue South. This is the old Timber Lodge site, and then it became the Racks, and now it's going to be Clive's Roadhouse, Burnsville. This item was presented. I opened the public hearing, and the owner appeared before us and gave us a view of what their menu is and what the concept is. It's Comfort American Food, and they will be open in March of 2015. No one else spoke, and I closed the public hearing, and the item was approved. And then we move on to the appointments of the members to the Black Dog Watershed Management Commission. And that item was presented, and Councilmember Coughlin made the recommendations on the appointments. We held a interviewing session of candidates. There were 3 regular seats that were open, 1 alternate, and there were 5 candidates. And Mr. Baldwin, Hammerlin, and Hughes were appointed to regular seats. Mr. Enisbet was appointed to the alternate seat. And that item was, the recommendation was made and seconded and approved. There were no other items to come before the City Council, and the meeting was then adjourned. I'd like to remind everyone that council action replays at 6 a.m. and noon, 6 p.m. and midnight. And City Council meetings replay at various times on Sunday, Monday, Thursday, and Friday. And I encourage you to watch the following to see how you can view past meetings and current meetings via the internet at www.burnsville.org. I'm Elizabeth Kautz, Mayor of the City of Burnsville. Thank you for joining me, and continue to make a difference.